My first PT visit, it was different than I expected. I'm the type of person that I don't really like to go to the doctor or to the dentist. It kind of stresses me out a little bit. But I really liked Therapeutic Associates Newberry because it felt less stressful, and I was able to talk to Pat about things other than physical therapy. We talked about stocks, and so it was a really fun experience for me as opposed to a stressful experience. I'm Sarah King. I was born in the Springfield area of Oregon. I've lived in Oregon my whole life, and I'm an Olympic athlete on the Swiss national team. I was homeschooled until 8th grade, and so I wasn't really in any organized sports until high school. So when I first started running, I really didn't like it at all. I remember the first year I did track, I was like, this is awful. It's like, why do people work out? Like, what is this training thing? While I was at George Fox, I was able to break some of the school records while I was there. Honestly, though, I think the records weren't like a super important part of, I don't know, my experience. It was more important to me to be able to just compete with people and be a part of the team. After my time at George Fox, I kind of just thought, well, I guess I'm done now. Maybe I'll, run a bit for fun, but that's it. But my coach, Adam, he knew that I was a Swiss dual citizen, and so he suggested that I try joining the Swiss team. I thought it was, a bit of a stretch. How could I compete at the professional level? But I reached out to one of the coaches on the Swiss national team, and we started, emailing back and forth and stuff. And they didn't just shoot me down immediately. So it's like, wow, maybe this could actually be possible. In the collegiate level and on the professional level, when you're pushing yourself, to your limits, or trying to, improve yourself, injury kind of just, happens sometimes. So for me, that happened last year. I had a hamstring problem, and I wasn't able to train at the level that I wanted to be able to train at, and so. I ended up coming to visit Therapeutic Associates.
With Sarah, being a high-level athlete, our approach, from in the beginning isn't all that different than someone else dealing with a recurrent hamstring issue. However, as we started to move through, it looked different. I had a lot more consult with her coach, so I worked with her coach more on what he was seeing. I really looked at different regions of her body, so we went deep into her spine to ensure that wasn't part of the problem. And then, a lot of the principles of her current theory we applied just at a more aggressive pace. So high loading, in-range loading, because sprinting requires that on your hamstring. And then, the other topic I think that goes sometimes that isn't always utilized in this population is some of the pain neuroscience education. So knowing when to push through a little bit when there's a little bit of pain and saying that's okay versus when to pull back.
So one of the things that I've struggled with training is actually being more in tune with my body and listening to it more, so when something's wrong, maybe you should stop. Maybe don't just try to push through it. And so that's something that's been a really important thing for me to learn, and especially with physical therapy. You know, it's not just about like instant results. You know, you have to stick with it. You have to keep listening to your body. You have to know, you know, when it's okay to push yourself and when you kind of, you know, have to maybe take it a little bit more easy or, you know, do some more therapy. Before this happened, like I'd never thought that I would be an Olympian. That's wild. You know, I don't know if anyone thinks, you know, and they're like, I'm gonna be an Olympian. You know, that's like when you're little and you're like, I'm gonna be this or I'm gonna be an astronaut. You know, it's like that's a pipe dream. Looking forward, I think physical therapy will be, you know, a more integral part of my routine, you know, because it's not just the hamstring, it's about, you know, keeping the rest of my body healthy and mobile. For any aspiring Olympians out there, you know, a lot of the times it seems like it's, you know, it's just that one person doing all the work, it's just the athlete, but it's really not just the athlete. Every athlete has a support group. It's the people that are supporting you, people that have your back, you know, and like I know that like therapeutic associates and like Pat, they have my back.